Hey, welcome back to the pod. This is the AiCyber.Land podcast where artificial intelligence and cybersecurity get fused together. Fusion, synergies. That's what I'm talking about today. How can you and your company synergize more? No, just joking. All right.
Remember that your word used to be everywhere. Synergies, synergy. We need synergy.
Synergies.
Okay.
If you can't act as a team and synergize, then I'm going to have to get another team to fire your team. If that team can't synergize, then I'm going to have another team to fire that one. It's a big chain. We're going to need synergy everywhere.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, got the world's best co-host, Shelby. So grab a drink. Make sure your laptop's locked if you walked away from it. And let's get briefed. First, I just want to start off by saying, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you're going to miss out on all my witty banner, like synergy. So you should definitely subscribe right now. With that being said, Shelby, do you have any thing cool that you've seen over the weekend?
Well, it seems like my pattern lately has just been talking about the Hugging Face breach because it just is really fun to see the updates as they come out. So just wanted to recap some of those updates to make sure everyone's up to speed on that. So Exploit Gym is the evaluation environment from which the AI jumped out of and started attacking Hugging Face and others. So I just wanted to clarify a little bit on that. So it didn't actually, the exploit gym did not give direct internet access to the AI. AI found and exploited a 0-day in a package within it. So it just kind of is a testament to just how capable it is when it's like, I'm going to accomplish this goal and I've been told I can hack, boom, nothing's safe, right? Because there was no known vulnerability. They just didn't know about it until they found it. So a review of other instances. So I think this kicked off a lot of investigations, which is kind of a theme here today too. They found that their models were also using leaked credentials. So part of the Hugging Face hack, there were some credentials that had been publicly disclosed on accident. And in other cases, they're finding where AI will find other credentials and then use them. Not at the same platform level hack, but they did find a couple other instances of that. So it seems like that's an area where we can probably expect to see more safeguards coming. Maybe don't use other people's credentials. But yeah, so as this is all going on, Anthropic looks at the news and says, oh, maybe we should do a review as well. So they checked Claude and they found not one or two, but 3 instances of
Of course they did. Of course.
Breaches.
As one does.
Oops, we hacked someone, right?
That's why I say never check the logs,
Just don't look. Maybe no one will
find
notice.
stuff in there. You don't want to find stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So they found 3 instances where they accidentally have attacked other entities. So it was interesting because it was very similar to the case of OpenAI's snafu, right? Where all 3 of those instances happened in a CTF. They were trying to evaluate the cyber capabilities. And to do the CTF, they took it out of just being helpful to doing the attacks, right? So they took off the guardrails. And under those circumstances, it was able to do that. There's also, it looks like, a little bit of miscommunication with their evaluators. So Anthropic has partners with an evaluator called Irregular to kind of set up these tests and environments. And so then when Anthropic went to give a prompt for the test saying, okay, you've got no internet access, so you can attack things, and this is what you're supposed to do to kick off the CTF. It thought everything was in scope, but it actually did have internet access. Very interesting. We now have 4 documented cases of basically sandbox escape, for lack of a better term, for AI, right? in
Or at least
we're
them
trying
not
to evaluate.
following the rules, you know? So, sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's interesting. So they tested a few different models. It was like different models that had done these breaches. And like the older models kept going, but the newer models seemed at some point along the way to recognize that like, it does appear that I am on the open internet, right? And then stopped, if I'm understanding that right. So that's just kind of the latest on that, which leads me into my story for today, which is that, you know, I feel like stuff is getting real. Actually, you know, we're going to back it up just a second. Have you heard of the prisoner's dilemma?
You know, I have heard of that. Those are words I have heard. But if you were to, like, say, what is the prisoner's dilemma? I'd be like, I don't know. They can't get soup. Not
No
enough soup.
problem. I'll explain it to you. You ready? Over here we've got prisoner A, and here we've got prisoner B. They have supposedly done some crime together, and when they're taken into custody, they're separated so they cannot communicate with each other, and the interrogators go to each one of them independently, and they say, you know, they're trying to get them to fess up. Tell us what you did. Tell us what he did, right? So I think there are different versions on it, but basically we'll just say, okay, so to this prisoner, if you fess up and tell us everything, then we'll let you go for free, or for after 1 year. After 1 year, you can get out of prison, okay? And this guy will be stuck for 5. If this guy squeals and tells all, this guy's stuck in prison for 5 years, and this guy gets to go after 1. If neither of them fess up to the crime, they're both stuck in there for 3 years. And if they both squeal on each other, they're stuck in there for, let's say, 4 years.
Okay.
So the optimal is if neither of them squeal, they both get out after 2 years.
Okay.
So optimally, they should not tell or confess on anything, because then they both get out free after 2 years. But if one betrays the other and kind of tells everything, they get a lighter sentence, and this guy's stuck for a long time, right? Or vice versa.
Banking on another criminal doing the right thing. That's what you're trying to tell me?
Well, I guess it depends on what the right thing is. Is it the right thing to be honest, or is it the right thing to be loyal to your co-conspirator here? So basically, it's a very interesting scenario in psychology, and I probably explained it poorly, so my apologies. Someone can go look it up. But basically, the idea is you can sell out the other person to help yourself.
Which sounds like something a criminal would do, right?
Right. But if you both sell out each other, you're both in jail for a longer time because they got evidence for both of you. And if neither of you talk, then you both get out way earlier. So, but you don't get to coordinate. And so, I bring this up because I feel like that is kind of what's going on with this like AI arms race, where everyone is pushing to develop AI so quickly that we're kind of throwing safety and security as like, you know, like slap it on later like a Band-Aid.
What?
You know, I mean, that never happens, right?
That never happens. Security's always number, 10 on the list of to-dos?
That's being generous. But yeah, so after like this whole hack with like Hugging Face, we have 1,346 employees from the frontier AI companies who have signed a statement. And this statement basically says, okay, AI is hard to predict, and it's doing a lot. And as we continue to develop at a fast pace, they said there is a real risk that capability development rapidly accelerates beyond our ability to understand or control the resulting systems. So I feel like this is something that a lot of people have been worried about, especially like just kind of normal people, you know, outside of tech that are like, oh, we're going to get a Terminator situation or whatever. Like, we're going to lose control. It's going to get smarter than us. And I didn't give it too much credibility. But now that we've got 1,300 plus of like the lead developers and other like researchers at these frontier AI companies saying that, I feel like there is a lot of weight behind it. And so what are they wanting? What's the point of this statement? They are calling for the US government to coordinate with other governments to slow things down, because they said, we're all trying to get this. It seems like they're trying to each get the competitive edge, right? By developing faster, having the best model, right? Best model is going to do really well. So,
and then once they slow down, we get even farther ahead. I like the way you think, Shelby.
So that's why I compare this to the prisoner's dilemma, because no one wants to really slow down, but we're all a little bit worried. We're like, are we going to get Terminator, right? Are we going to get Eagle Eye?
I mean, that's an easy answer. Yes, both. Terminator's going to get access to Eagle Eye, which is going to give...
Or what's the other one? iRobot? iRobot. This is just a movie list at this point. We're just living it. So yeah, I thought this statement was very interesting. We'll include a link to it below. But you've got some big names on there. You've got the chief scientist from Thinking Machines, the chief scientist from OpenAI, the co-founder of Anthropic, co-founder from Google DeepMind. You've got Meta AI, chief scientists. We've got some big names on here. And of course, Dario, one of my favorites. But yeah, I think it would be interesting to see like if it could ever work. I'm skeptical because I think the incentives for these prisoners to rat on each other, basically to help themselves, is going to be hard, because we've got this self-interested incentive structure where whoever gets there first wins. But people are saying, yeah, this might work badly for all of us if we don't slow down to understand what's going on and make sure we build it in a way that we can control it. So yeah, what are your thoughts?
You know, tech executives, they have a long history of just sticking with their words, you know? Not at all, right? I mean, they're like famous for just like saying BS and then totally not even doing it at all, right? So
Sam Altman is a great example of that.
I think you just look at like any of the social networks, right? Like their leadership all knew that the social media was harming their user base and harming minors even, right? They all knew that, right? And they just continued to press on. I think Apple knows that iPhones harm kids, but they want them in kids' hands because it sells, right? That's more humans to sell iPhones to. So like I don't think you can reasonably assume, right, when incentives are misaligned that the other person's going to act in the way that you want, right? They're going to act in a way that rewards them. And I think while this is a cool initiative and it's good PR and it's a good idea, I think it will not have any like significant impact on the AI.
Right,
race.
because the US government is who they're calling to initiate this like international, almost like treaty. Like I kind of compare it in my mind to like the nuclear treaties we have, where we're like, hold up, we've got a mutually assured destruction situation going on. We need to make rules that we all agree on, kind of thing, right? And but I feel like the US has such a horse in this race. They also want to beat China or whatever it is, right? Like, so I feel like I don't know that we've seen a response from the US government on this so far. And I think it would be
and even
hard to make happen, right?
Yeah, even the nuclear protections have not prevented risky countries from getting access to nuclear weapons, right? So I'm not gonna.
But they haven't gone off.
True. That's true.
Maybe it's only a little.
I think it's worthwhile to try, right? Like I'm not saying you shouldn't try. I'm just also saying like. I'm just saying, you know, this is a delay game. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to delay people from getting to the Terminator scenario. I don't
know, like it seems like they're just asking for like a deliberate pacing so that we don't get ahead of ourselves and run ourselves over, right? So they're not saying
that's good. That's good.
Like so you're exactly right. It is a deliberate pacing attempt to just rein it in while we try to understand the ramifications and impacts of what we're making and how to manage it without it getting out of hand.
Yeah, I like that. I also, I think you mentioned one of the cybersecurity benchmarks, and I saw a cool thing this weekend where a lot of the benchmarks are currently focused on like solving capture the flag challenges or finding vulnerabilities in code, which is great, right? Which is okay. Let's be honest. Like it's okay, but like do we really need to get better at either of those things, like finding more vulnerabilities? Because like everyone already has a giant backlog. So I did see that like Cyberbench released a new benchmark called Cyberbench End to End, or E2E, and in that benchmark, not only do they benchmark like do you find the vulnerability, but they also benchmark do you fix the vulnerability and is it successfully fixed. So that's what they mean end to end. So
Okay.
I think all benchmarks should be more focused on the fixing side than the finding side personally, because I feel like people are going to do as they get rewarded. And so if they're like, well, I want to get higher on the benchmark, so we better make our model find more vulns faster. I'm like, nobody wants that. That's not helping anybody. Right?
It's like KPIs for AI.
I mean, the labs are going to gamify against
Yeah.
that because people are going to select model providers based on those outcomes. It's like the new Gartner, right? Like if you were in the upper quadrant of Gartner, if you're not in the top 3, you're not even considered, right? And for people that don't know, Gartner evaluates like cybersecurity products, and then they like release this kind of quadrant chart, and basically the best ones are in the top right. So like, I mean, basically like Cisco's, there's so many products that they just look at the one, like the top 3, right? For the most part. I'm just talking in generalities here. I know different companies should apply different strategies to cybersecurity, but for the most part, that's how most systems operate. So, I mean, I think we have that new scenario now where it's like, whoever gets the best on the cybersecurity benchmarks, that's the ones we're going to go with, right? So for our cybersecurity workloads, right, that relate to AI. So
That's
I think
awesome.
there's real incentive to, I personally think changing the benchmark actually will have an effect on which model providers get selected.
Yay.
And so if they start benchmarking things that we want them to actually do, then that's better.
That's great. I feel like you've been advocating for this for years.
I feel
mean,
like
we
talked
can
about
find
this at least 3
vulns.
times on this pod.
You're like, we can find vulns, but like it kind of is more work to patch them.
I just, like, coming from like a Pentest red team background, like, I just feel bad, man. It's like, they have this huge backlog. They're required to do a pen test every year. We come and do the pen test. We find a bunch more bugs. And it's like great, now we got to fix more stuff, right? When we didn't even really get the other stuff fixed. And it's just like, just keeps stacking year over year. So it's like,
It's tough.
I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I just think, like, we AI might be the opportunity to, like,
Close
get-
that gap.
yeah, close the gap a bit. Like, okay, we know about all these critical vulnerabilities. We don't have humans or expertise to fix it, but, you know, we could go allocate tokens to go fix it, right? And so, so I don't know. That's my dream, is like, hopefully AI will help actually make defending systems more feasible. With that being said, cybersecurity benchmarks. There is a new hotness out there that is crushing the benchmarks. It was released by Nvidia. And let me ask you this question first before I dive into that. What if, Shelby, the biggest release of the summer is not a new model release?
Is it a movie? Just kidding.
Oh, it could be Spider-Man. Have you seen Spider-Man? That movie's pretty good.
I don't know. I saw like 6 of them, but I don't know if I saw this new one.
The new one, it just came out last week, right? You know, and it's got the Spider-Man guy in it. Was it
funny.
Tobey Maguire? I don't know. Somebody. Anyways, Nvidia came out and they open sourced a basically like a harness that's designed to help do various cybersecurity tasks. And it was able to take a model on a cybersecurity benchmark, like an open source model on a cybersecurity benchmark that was scoring at 13% out of 100. Then they put in their harness, the same exact model, scored 85% on the benchmark. No change in model, just change in the way that the harness is leveraging the model.
Yeah.
The model is completely swappable. It wasn't like they like did reinforcement learning against a specific model. It was like you can plug and play any model you want into this framework.
Oh, sweet.
So, so yeah, and they open sourced it. So it's called new, like NOOA, like Nvidia 00 agents, right? It's kind of, I don't know how you're supposed to say that, but Nvidia 00 agents sounds cool, right? And the double O's in it stand for object oriented. So essentially, you can like instantiate a agent as like an object in Python code, which just makes it really easy to like build and manage the agents and to like get a lot of agents kind of, you know, swarming together or working together in a really logical manner, right? So super cool, super free. Just to kind of, they have a bunch of features in this like advanced memory tools so that like the agents can keep state better than just regular harnesses that are out there.
Oh, cool.
Like a lot of different techniques implemented into it. We don't need to go into all of them, but I do want to just highlight that overall, as of today, Nuva with a like off-the-shelf model was able to score, like an off-the-shelf model anyone has access to, was able to score an 86% on some of the cybersecurity benchmarks. And really the only one that beat it well was Microsoft, we talked about previously, has the M- harness that's like reinforced against their specific new model. So that one scored like a 95%. So
wow.
So, you know, there's still like better out there, but I think that the big thing about Nvidia is they were able to do this with basically like open source model and open source harness, like all from end to end. So
that's cool.
Just to like kind of give you like a comparison. So this system scored an 86%. Mythos, the thing that was like supposed to destroy the universe, only scored an 83%, right? So it's like using models anybody has access to, putting them in a better harness, and outscoring Mythos.
Wow.
Yeah, so it wasn't the CyberGem end-to-end benchmark. It was the normal CyberGem benchmark, but hopefully they'll run it again with the end-to-end one. That's my hope. Yeah, and so anyways, that's something that like I just want to dive into a little bit more and see like can I get similar results like in-house or better results than what I've been getting in the past. And if you guys want to let me know, is there anything else that I missed? Is there like a model or like a harness that we should talk more about? If so, leave a comment below, because I'm pretty sure there's got to be something else out there that I haven't heard of. So I feel like there's new models and new harnesses dropped every day. So
that's cool. So we'll have to keep our eyes on like the harness space because it can really change the game. Again,
yeah,
it used to be all about the models, and now you're saying like, no, it depends on how well you're like supporting them and using them, right?
Yeah, I think with the Microsoft M- and now with this Nvidia, like we're seeing that the harness itself, that's like the tooling that you give to the model as you loop around with calling the models, like can have a giant impact, right? So the combination of the two is where you're going to get the best output. So, all right, well, have you seen anything fun lately or that you want to talk about?
I just learned about this unfortunate gentleman by the name of Roy. His name's Roy Sullivan. And in 1942, so his career was as a park ranger in Virginia.
Okay.
And he became famous for a very unexpected reason. He got struck by lightning. And then it's like he got struck by lightning again. And it seems like every couple years, like if you go look on like his Wikipedia page, it's like every couple of years he got struck by lightning again and survived and like would get struck by lightning again.
And he's not related to Thor in any way, shape, or form?
I don't know, maybe reincarnated or his enemy or something, but this poor guy started carrying water around with him because he was so tired of his hair like lighting on fire from the lightning strikes. It's a wild story. Huh?
This dude needs to get out of the forest, like get to a place that's got some lightning poles.
I know, poor guy. People started calling him, what do they call him, like the human lightning rod and stuff. So he holds the record for the most number of lightning strikes on one person to survive, and he has 7.
That's a lot.
There were no like witnesses at these, so I don't know like if it was all real, but it's all documented, and I just have no idea. I think there was a movie made about it. I'm not even sure, but yeah, Roy Sullivan, folks, go look him up.
I got a great lightning story for you, Shelby.
Oh?
But can't tell it on here. Sorry. You'll have to wait for my memoir someday. My word, tell all. Oh.
Wow. What about you? What's new? What's going on?
Speaking of tea, I've been watching House of the Dragons. I think I probably talked about this before because I'm a very original individual. But yeah, I've been really enjoying that. That's like the Game of Thrones prequel. And yeah, you know, one thing about House of the Dragons is just like, it's kind of like the prisoner's dilemma that you were talking about previously. Like, these people are like there's a lot of, how do you put it nicely? Tough decisions going on in the show, right? Where, you know, that they have big impacts, right? Like, who are you gonna side with, or what's gonna happen next, right? So, anyways, I'm liking that show. If you like Game of Thrones or things like that, you should check out House of the Dragons. That's my recommendation. If you don't like House of the Dragons, you should still like this podcast because we worked really hard on it.
Yeah.
And also it helps us out if you give us a like.
Yeah. I hope House of the Dragons ends well, because it sounds like you're really enjoying it, and I know the last one tripped up at the ending.
Yeah, I felt like season 1 and season 2, they were like good at the beginning of the seasons and the end of the seasons, but like the middles were pretty slow. I feel like with season 3, they're putting enough action into each episode to keep it more lively. But I also think they're also deviating from the books farther, right? So, you know, if you're like a fandom of the original books, what was it called, like Fire and Ice or something like that, then, you know, you may not like that they've changed a little bit of it, right? I mean, I think, you know, they haven't changed a ton, but the ordering of some of the events is slightly different, as well as they've kind of collapsed people together in some cases. So I think to stop trying to confuse the viewers, right? You know, if you have like 2 people that are similar age and kind of look the same, it might be hard for the viewers to like. And it's already so hard to keep track of what's going on in that show, man. So I mean, I kind of think those are probably good choices overall, but I don't know. They're deviating more now from the books, so we'll see how that pans out in the next couple episodes. So, all right. Anyways, anything else you want to add, Shelby?
That's all I've got today.
All right. Well, that's a wrap for today's briefing. AI moves super fast. Cybersecurity moves super fast, and we're here to keep you ahead of it. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye.